Welcome everybody to Apex Racing TV, BSR Radical Thursdays. Big apologies for the delay, some technical issues here, but we are here at Road America. Andrew Woodhouse, Lee Thompson with you as usual. And Lee, this is a great circuit. We're already seeing some great action in the first 3 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, lap 3 we're on at the minute, and Kane Halliburton started off from pole, and so he is already dropped 2 spots and is running down in 3rd position. So he did not have a great start to the race. But yeah, we've got Nicole Foggy in the lead, Johnny Brandon 2nd, Kane Halliburton 3rd, Chris Cash in 4th, Dan Webster in 5th. It's all looking pretty close at the minute. I didn't see any big accidents at the very start. We've got 8 runners or so now who are out of the race. But it wasn't from a big single event first lap, so good job from those guys.
Yeah, always good when we don't get a pile up here, because it can happen. It's often happened around Road America. It's a great circuit, this, one of my favourites in iRacing, and I'm sure the drivers all look forward to this during the week. And well, a couple of good overtaking opportunities, and you can see Dan Webster lining one up down the main straight. Wasn't close enough in terms of getting past Chris Cash. These two need to just stay in the slipstream down this back straight, Lee, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And Halliburton is looking like he's trying to pressure Brandon as soon as possible, get up into that 2nd spot. He's just a couple of attempts behind. So he's anxious, it looks like, to not let Foggy get away. We know how well Foggy and Brandon have been working together in the previous races, these teammates. And Halliburton is moved out already. He's going to try and go around the outside as they come in. It looks optimistic, but he's holding it around the outside. Doesn't get the drive off the corner, and Brandon tucks back in front.
It's tough sometimes with the angle of that corner to stay around the outside. You can see Halliburton very quick all over the back of Johnny Brandon. He was super quick 2 weeks ago as well. It's been quick every week as Kane Halliburton, but we saw him relative to Johnny Brandon. But Brandon's a driver who doesn't really make many mistakes. Lee's not going to give you the position easily.
No, absolutely. We've seen a lot of consistency from all of these guys here running at the front in the previous rounds, and Halliburton again was seen close a little bit mid to exit as they come onto the long back straight.
And a problem for Steve Hefford. We'll see if we can see exactly what happened to him. Oh, there it was. Actually, yeah, Lee's going into the... it's that tricky little right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Just lost the rear.
Yeah, very difficult going into turn 5 there. So just got out on the bumps on the outside, looked like, and big damage now on the rear, as you say.
He was unlucky to hit the wall, wasn't he, really? Just he nearly got it slowed up, but just that little tap.
Yeah, Halliburton on Brandon 2nd place there, Woody. So Halliburton's got the inside line this time here going into turn 1. He should be looking good as long as he can just hold up momentum. Yeah, outbreaks Brandon slightly as well. Brandon tucks into 3rd. So now the chase is on to Foggy. Just 8 tenths, so he's not let Foggy get too far away before he's been able to make that move.
Yeah, it's tough to break away around here, isn't it? Too many long straights, and drafting these radicals, we did see that it's quite good. And here comes Brandon again on the counter-attack. What can he do here? He has a little look, but nothing too ambitious so far.
No, and these top 5 have broken away a little bit from the main group behind. Ash Sutton is a car who's trying to bridge that gap, so he's just floating around a 2nd ahead of Paul Crabb then in 7th. And Ash Sutton already made 8 places from his starting position on the grid, so Ash had a poor qualifying, which is unusual for him. You know, we'd expect to see him right at the sharp end for this race 1 start. So yeah, he's trying to do as much damage control as he can.
Yeah, it's kind of status quo between Webster and Sutton, probably because Sutton he's the one at the front of that group, Lee, and the rest of them are getting a good slipstream off of Foggy and really stringing out quite nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be tough work to bridge the gap. But I mean, these top 5 cars are running so close together that we may see a bit of squabbling later on, and before we know it, might well see Ash Sutton go into the back of the shot here. So yeah, still the same order for the top 5. So Foggy, Halliburton, Brandon, Cash and Webster as they come to complete lap 5, coming around the final corner now. We've got a reasonable group of cars then running from, what, 12th position all the way down to 19th or so. Just half a second gaps between all of the cars there. So it'll be interesting to see who manages to gain out of there. Got some big movers in there already, plus 15, plus 12 from the grid. So that's the biggest single group of cars really that we've got on track.
Yeah, Ashton followed by McRitchie. And the side-by-side behind them, actually, it's O'Connor and Giddings. And Lane O'Connor going through, but he can't keep it. Jordan Giddings on the inside. Oh, and
Cooper much later on the break. Can he get the apex? Does. So, yeah, Giddings was a little bit cautious there, I think. And, yeah, really lost out the braking zone. It's tricky into that corner. You can, when you're offline, you can lose your braking marker a little bit there.
Still side-by-side, McRitchie and Ashton, then down the straight. Jack Ashton starting in 29th place. He's into 15th, very late on the brakes in this Radical. Still side-by-side, but surely now the advantage with Ashton, or is it? Right, still going back and forthly.
Yeah, Richie trying to hang on desperately in there. That was the corner he needed to keep his nose in if he wanted a chance. He's going on the outside now as they head into turn 8.
Locks up.
And, very late on the brakes, but gets away with it. So, yeah, how he managed to gather that up then mid-corner. Did very well, but we can see that's now a 3-car battle and a very tight battle in the 2 cars just in the back of shot as well.
Seemed like it almost helped him turn around the corner, didn't it? Give him that little bit of extra grip, extra turn. It is a tough corner that we've seen. That's the corner we've seen the most mistakes at so far. Here comes. Oh, he didn't know which way to go. Did McRitchie?
Yeah, Richie's got the inside now for Canada corner. So can he be strong on the brakes? He can. Turns in well, hits the apex clean on the exit, and not an opportunity then for Ashton to get around in and out. So yeah, 4-car. Shall I try and count again? 5-car group, well and truly now. They've merged into one thanks to that squabbling. So this, I think, is going to be a battle we're going to continue to watch.
Dear!
This looks like, mate, I was right. I had a premonition. I said 4-car group, right? So I
called it.
I knew there may be an issue there for Paul John Giddings. He did well to recover it, I think. Maybe stayed out of the wall, I think.
He didn't hit anything, I don't think. No, he did a good job of keeping it out of the wall there. Starting in 31st place, so he still made up quite a lot of gains there. And well, I'm sure he'll be able to try and get back onto the... Stefan Leslie is just in front of him. Apologies if the pronunciation is bad on that one. We've lost quite a few cars as well, by the way, which we didn't really see because we weren't here. It was Laura Bond is out, Jamie Ayres, Luke Cooper, Craig Jones, Josh Thompson, Michael Blake, David Ayres, Sven Glatzel, Jack McIntyre, Sam Fitzpatrick, Trevor Blackburn and Carl Hardy. All out of the race. Of the 42 who started, we only have 29 left. In fact, I'm not sure we do, because I think... Oh no, we do. Ronald Moons is still going. Change for the lead. Change for the lead. It's big. Look at this.
Yeah, Halliburton's going to be stuck on the outside now as they come into Canada corner. The 2 teammates, Foggy and Brandon, in each other's toe as Foggy tries to hold onto that inside line. Gets
he's lost
but
it!
The rear steps out. And poor Kane Halliburton again gets damage. Got caught up in somebody else's error as a defending, but Brandon, Cash, Webster all got through cleanly. Halliburton next, and yeah, Foggy has gone back to pits.
I think he has got away with very minor damage though as Halliburton. There's a car going very slowly on the inside there. I'm not sure who that is. But now Chris Cash looking for the lead. Can he cash in? We'll see. Johnny Brandon doesn't look like he's putting up too much resistance, and Cash up the inside. Can he cover it into 2? It's a short little squirt into 2, isn't it, Lee? It's not that easy to get past.
No, you haven't. You've got to already be right up and amongst it from squabbling in turn 1 to have a good chance there. But yeah, now is the opportunity on the run. Strangely, it was at turn 2. Next turn is going to be turn 5, thanks to the very strange corner counting on this circuit. And yeah, Brandon has got the inside. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? Cash gives it a good go, but he's going to have to tuck in. Can he get the cut back at all? There's not really much space to the next corner, and yeah, Brandon clean on the exit. So Brandon, Cash, then Webster are our top 3.
Great battles in this race. I tell you what, I think we came in at the right time because I think it's been much more exciting since lap 3.
Yeah, it's been good, entertaining race. Good car track combination, as we've really said through the previous rounds as well. Webster's looking like the next guy on the move, so he's looking to put Cash under a little bit more pressure now. And Halliburton, do you know what? He's not a long way behind. Halliburton can find himself dragging himself back up to this fight for the lead again as soon as these guys just do a little bit more squabbling. He's only a second and a half back.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't have too much damage. We'll keep an eye on that one as we go. Just looking at the fastest lap times on the screen there, it's Dan Webster with it, 1:59.428. Webster really impressive. He was very quick in qualifying as well. He had provisional pole for a good half of the session. Another lock-up from Brandon. But yeah, Lee,
all of a sudden that's given Cash a little bit of a sniff as well as they go on the front straight, but it still looks like Webster's the closer guy. Webster's right tucked up in the gearbox now, moves up into the inside, and they both quickly catching Brandon in the slipstream, and Webster backed completely out of it. That looked a bit stranger. He was alongside, got a run, and just seemed to lift and tuck back in.
Yeah, he had a bit of a tough job on his hands as well, because as soon as he pulled out of the slipstream, of course it meant that Cash still had the slipstream from Johnny Brandon, and he had nothing. So that's really why he couldn't quite usurp him on that occasion. But you're right, Halliburton only off the lead by...
Yeah, he's going to be right with him after this corner, I think. So Brandon on the inside, we've got Cash on the outside again. And Halliburton's is right with him now, making it back to a 4-car group again. A little bit wide for Webster, kicks up the dust a little bit, but gets away with it. There we go. Halliburton now right in it. He's going to be fighting for the lead again within just a lap or two.
Can't be badly damaged though, really.
Yeah, it looks all right. Looks like he's running at pace.
That's what I mean. He seems to be good.
You see lurking in the background, I said Ash Sutton would start coming into shot of this lead group, and he is. He's only 3.5 seconds further back now. So he is going to be getting involved, I think, very quickly as these lead 3 are going to, or lead 4 rather now, are going to continue to squabble, I think, through the last, 2.5 minutes we got.
Yeah, he's just ahead of Paul Crabb, who's actually going slightly quicker than the former British Touring Car champion. But yeah, Crabb trying to make it a 6-way battle. We've not long left, though, in this one. We've only a couple of laps to go. It is a long circuit. 2-minute lap even in the Radical, which has a bit of poke to it, has to be said. But yeah, it's not a car that I've ever really seen very much on these broadcasted races, either for us or any other channel, Lee, but it seems like it's a really... Oh, Brandon's gone! Johnny Brandon spins out of the lead.
He knew he had to push so hard through that last corner to make sure the guys in front of him didn't get a run down the front straight, and he just asked that a little bit too much from the rear tyres, and that was it. So yeah, big damage here from Brandon as we watch him turn into the final corner. Where does it get away from him? A tiny little bit mid-corner, but it's just the exit. He just jumps too hard on the power on the exit, maybe touches the grass with the left rear as well, and spins around.
Just clipped the grass, didn't he? Yeah, slightly. It's funny because it kind of lost its way on sort of in the middle of the corner, and then it gathered up again. It was almost like oversteer, then understeer, then more oversteer again, and here comes
lead again.
Webster, round the outside into the corner at the bottom of the hill.
Kane Halliburton could well come around this next couple of corners in the lead, and a big switch as well. But yeah, Cash holds on through that last corner there. Webster squeezed them in a little.
Hello. He's left the door open, Lee. He's left the door open.
Oh, through the carousel, side by side. How do they do a good job of staying from that? And here's Halliburton then right in the slipstream. He's got nowhere to go though, so it's still Cash and Webster. Webster's going to get hung out to dry here. I think Halliburton is maybe going to get the run as they come through the carousel. Sorry, but no, not quite.
It's both a very good position for Halliburton and a very bad one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if Halliburton's luck we've seen for the rest of the season carries on, then it's going to be a very bad position as he gets caught up in their accident. But he's well and truly due for a stroke of luck now. So
let's see. Win this race.
Biggest breaking point in the circuit. Cash on the inside, Webster on the outside again. Is Halliburton going to play it safe and just sit back a little bit?
Oh, he's wide. Webster's very wide. Cash is going
to get the inside. Halliburton sneaks his opportunity. And Halliburton around the outside of the second last corner.
What a move.
Just about hangs onto the circuit, gets that second place. Webster straight back though. Webster throws it up the inside. Halliburton sees him coming, gives him space, bumping and barging as they're going down the straight. Who's got the drag?
Is this going to be the checkered flag? It is. Chris Cash.
Halliburton's got the slipstream.
Chris Cash takes the win.
Get it. Webster just got that second place. How Webster hung on with that second place with Halliburton having the slipstream, I will not know coming out of that final corner.
You see, it makes me not care that we missed the first 3 laps because the other 9 were just absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
Cracking job from the leaders there. How unusual as well, in that race we saw the 2 separate leaders having accidents during that race. Foggy, when he was in the lead on the inside, going into Canada corner, losing it and taking big damage and retiring. And then the same for his teammate, Johnny Brandon, from the lead, losing it and taking big damage again on the inside. So what a strange turn of events there for Cash to end up with a win.
Really an outstanding race. And yeah, it could have gone anybody's way. I mean, for Halliburton to have an off, collect another driver, of course not his fault, and then end up coming back and nearly taking the win. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, he wouldn't have thought he'd been able to get anywhere near that, surely, after that incident. So brilliant stuff. Shows how strong the slipstream is around here as well. That once he actually got within striking distance, he was there instantly, wasn't he? Really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no doubt he's going to be kicking himself for getting caught up in that incident with Foggy, because he had the pace of the cars in the top 3 there, and just getting tangled up with Foggy as they were battling. It was unlucky. Obviously, Foggy came worse off, but it was Foggy's oversteer moment, and Halliburton had everything under control. So yeah, Sutton did rock up in that 4th place. Never did quite get onto the back of the grid, but he easily, again through the squabbling on the last lap, they could have suddenly appeared and come from nowhere. He was only 1.5 seconds back at the end. So yeah, very tight.
Amazing, really, isn't it? When you consider just how far back he actually was at one bit. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Lee, take us through the results, mate. I'll get the reverse grid wheel going.
That's it. So race results. So Chris Cash, congratulations for his win, first race of the night. I say cracking defence there at the end to hold off Dan Webster, finishing in second, half a second back. What did we have? We had 13/100ths of a second then separating Webster from a recovering Kane Halliburton. Yeah, what a move, by the way, from Dan Webster. Last corner, I thought Halliburton had secured that second place. Just threw it up the inside. Knew that Halliburton's, maybe having to consider the championship a bit more. Fortunately, Halliburton saw him, gave him the space, and yeah, couldn't quite outdrag him. So yeah, what a move from Webster. 4th, Ash Sutton. 5th, Paul Crabb. 6th, Johnny Brandon. So he did well to limp back in 6th with that damage to the car. 7th was Matt Willett. 8th was Craig Williams. 9th was Richard Warmingham. 10th, Kip Stevens. 11th, Jamie Myers. 12th, James McRitchie. 13th, Richard Gafenku. 14th, Lane O'Connor. 15th, Jack Ashton. So we saw that battle earlier on between those two. So O'Connor came out on top. Dominic Farber then in 16th. Steve Hefford 17th. Jordan Giddings in 18th.
Oh, sorry.
Pause. Stefan Leslie in 19th. Christian Rose in 20th. Paul Denton 21st. Robert Plumley 22nd. Robert Inch in 23rd. Sam Kumo in 24th. Paul Jacquelet in 25th. And then the last runner was Anthony Jacobson in 26th. All other runners were 3 laps or more back. McCain, Foggy, Moons, McCallie, Bond, Ayers, Hardy, Blake, Blackburn, and Sam Fitzpatrick 9 and 10 laps down. Glatzel, McIntyre, Josh Thompson, Luke Cooper, David Ayers, and Craig Jones was the last classified, or the first retirement, last classified results position.
Yeah, it was a great race, wasn't it? And you can see on your screen the top 18 positions. Is it going to be one of them that gets the reverse grid pole? Well, we are indeed about to find out. Here is the reverse grid wheel, and here is the spin. What's it going to be then? Oh, the all full -5's coming. And indeed it will be full -5. So that will be, now then, let's see. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it'll be Paul Denton in 21st place, as he's the 6th driver, basically off the back of the field for this one. So we'll see how he gets on. It'll be Christian Rose just behind him, Stefan Leslie, the Frenchman, in third, Jordan Giddings fourth, and Steve Hefford in fifth, when we come back here on Apex Racing TV in the BSR Radical Thursday.
chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMeritt at the line. chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerick at the line.
Welcome back to BSR Radical Thursday here on Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse and Lee Thompson bringing you all the action from the Road America circuit in the United States. Lee, what a race we had in race 1. And, well, the guys will be looking for the same sort of action, surely.
Yeah, that was a cracking race that we saw. Especially good to see the harder battling at the front all the way through. You know, it pretty much continued through that second half of the race. Didn't really get to see much else of the grid though, so hopefully we'll get to see some of the other guys a little bit further down who maybe aren't quite at the sharp end. But let's hope for a good clean start again, so most of the runners can continue and keep this long track occupied as a rev build.
Here we go then. Paul Denton on pole, Christian Rose alongside. Green light is on, we're away. What a start! Oh my God, Denton didn't get away. Not properly. Really bogged down.
Big problem there. Yeah, big problem, just falling completely backwards through the field. But Rose has got the jump on the rest of the grid, so he's turned into turn 1 first, and then the next sort of 10 positions or so look fairly clean through turn 1.
I'm amazed that everybody avoided him there. Oh, Halliburton's in trouble, I think. He's dropping down. Oh, and there's a car in the gravel, also in the background. Few off near the back, actually. Looking at, right, he was McRitchie, I think. He was off. Let's have a look how he was already off. McRitchie, yeah, off in the gravel. Anyway. Oh no, that's a problem. Farber. He managed to keep it, Lee, facing the right way somehow, but surely he's got a slow down penalty for him.
Yeah, we shall see. Front two, though, breaking away from the rest of the pack. And then, as I say, Leslie here just in front of a huge train of cars. Like I say, vast majority of the cars looking pretty clean through this first lap so far. Just a huge train as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, we'll have a look and see who was victims in a bit later on, because we did not get to see that really. See who is out already. I think Jack McIntyre is one of them actually. What a sound this is as they stream towards Canada Corner.
Yeah, all those V8s screaming away as we've got a car making a move up the inside of Canada Corner, holds a tight enough line, doesn't run wide on Halliburton. Is that he's fighting? No.
It's Faber and Gafenko, I think, is it?
Yeah, same team colours. And Spinner in the background there into the wall as well, and another one on the other side of the track.
I think it might be Robert Inch. Oh, Robert Inch is one of those. Now I will go to a replay now. Oh dear! What if he got a tap from behind?
Hard hitting the wall then.
Let's have a little look from. Oh yeah, he was gone, wasn't he? He was gone.
Yeah, just overstiff. I mean, that second to last corner there can be very tricky. It's flat, but if you don't quite get the line right, then the car can step out, and yeah, it looked like the back stepped out, tried to correct it, and that was it, into the wall. So Christian Rose streaking away at the front, nearly 2-second gap. He's got already Jordan Giddings then in second, Richard Gafenko in third, Dominic Faber in fourth, Stefan Leslie in fifth, Paul Denton sixth, Richard Warmingham seventh, Johnny Brandon eighth, and we've got Mayers falling down the field. He was in eighth. Brandon dropped to ninth now with Willett in eighth, and Dan Webster in 10th.
It is so crowded in this midfield. It's unreal. 3 seconds between 8th and 20th. Oh, and it's all crazy. Kicked off at the bottom of the hill. I think it's Giddings.
Yeah, and Ashton falling down the field as well. Carl Jacquelet losing a couple of spots. So yeah, lots of action just through that section there. Perhaps this car's trying to avoid car on the grass then as well. Maybe just behind Giddings, I think it was.
Oh, it's the same
Giddings
corner.
Yeah. So tricky going into there. The braking, especially into that corner, really sucks you in to brake as hard as deep as you can, and then you mid-corner and don't realise the car's sideways. So yeah, big issue there as he turned in.
Oh, on the inside. Crash!
Oh, turned in. Yeah,
Webster
just didn't allow the space. So yeah, Dan Webster falling back down the field, and yeah, just car on the outside just didn't allow the space for a second car to be either, unfortunately.
Here we go again then, let's see. Oh.
Yeah, maybe car on the inside could have been a tiny bit tighter as well going in, but even so, it was just a 2 doesn't go into 1, I think. And front straight, 4 cars all squabbling, going to make it 3 wide, I think, in just a second as they head into turn 1.
Webster and
just going to pair up for now.
Thompson and Plumley, Glatzel. Hardly anything between them at all.
They all get through cleanly, good job, but the car at the back there is going to make 2 positions as they have a slow mid-corner. Can he get up late enough on the brakes to hold that line as well? It does, so yeah, through turn 1 and 2 there, makes up 2 spots, very cleanly done, and he's going to be chasing off on the car ahead now of Thompson.
Christian Rose is away, but Dominic Faber and Richard Gafenko battling over second place. Faber has it currently.
Gafenko looking pretty strong at the minute, just a couple of tenths back. Fancy that if he could get a run, then he might be able to just pull a little bit of a gap.
That was Faber all over the grass. Warmingham's off.
Warmingham, yeah, in the grass as well.
So Warmingham, 7 places from where he started, taking a trip through the scenery on this occasion. Willett just behind. Then Brandon, Giddings, Foggy, and Williams. Craig Williams has got his face on a few of these cars, and showing his face pretty well in this one as well, 11th place. And
yeah, we've seen quite a lot of
3 positions.
We've seen quite a lot of unenforced errors at the start of this race. The car is pushing very hard. We're seeing lots of them just running out the road and having to take to the grass. So these guys are really pushing hard as there's somebody locked up into Canada corner as well. Canada corner, that's a slip of the tongue. Into Canada corner there as well, but it looks like we got away with it. Gafenku's just dropped a 10th or so on Faber, but still pushing hard.
And that's Williams. Surprising Giddings on the final corner after Foggy had just gone through. Leslie versus Denton across the start-finish line.
Yeah, Denton looking like he's got that nose in front as they head into turn 1. And he's late enough on the brakes as well. Can he keep it tight? Leslie's looking to get the cut back a little bit. Not a long enough drive to turn 2-3. And he has to tuck back in. Denton keeps that spot. So nice clean move made through turn 1.
He's going to have a chance now though, I think. Certainly this straight's long enough as they go under the cheese bridge.
Yeah, here we come. We can see that effect coming in now as Leslie starts to close. It's not going massively quickly, but Denton chooses not to defend. So Leslie's got the inside line. Hard onto the brakes and locked up a little bit does Leslie, but yeah, Denton was a little bit cautious and Leslie made that fairly easy in the end.
It was indeed. And
did we see Gafenku getting into second? So in case we've missed that, yeah, Gafenku
I think
now
we
in
did.
second.
I'll have a look.
Faber down into third.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be into turn 1. Is he going to clear him by turn 1?
Yeah, looks like could well do. I think yeah, Faber tucks in and in fact Gafenku defends on the inside. So yeah, all done just on the drag down the front straight. And Gafenku just trying to pull away, getting 3.5 tenths or so, even with the slipstream there. So yeah, he may well just be able to pull himself away from Faber, but not like that. Big twitch on exit, and all of a sudden Faber is all over the back of him. Just needs a clean final corner, and surely he'll have a good shout into turn 1 again.
I think so. Let's see then, Dominic Faber, who had a bit of a tough start to this championship in BSR Radical, but certainly gaining in confidence and speed.
Here he comes then. Is Gafenku going to go to the inside? He does, quite late. Moving around a fair bit.
Yeah.
Bit borderline there, but just about left him space on the outside, as does Faber leaves him space on the inside as well. Still side by side then, as they come out the corner. Gafenku's just about going to hold on to this, I think. And Faber just needs to get himself in position to get the slipstream again and have a knife trying to turn 5. So defending initially from Gafenku looked good, but there was 3 or 4 small little movements that you know, pick your line, defend, come back to the racing line maybe, and then. And
he kind of inched across back towards Faber as well, didn't he? A couple of times, as if to say, you know, make way for me, give me some space, but.
Gafenku gets a bad exit, it has to defend, so that's going to be tricky for him actually coming through this corner. Faber may well get a run and can't quite get his nose in before the next corner, but yeah, Gafenku he looks like he's got the pace, but just struggling slightly more now.
Oh, Webster, something's happened to Dan Webster, he's in the fence.
Ooh. Oh, and the next car as well, spinning it through the same corner.
There's the replay.
Yeah, the guy's struggling in turn 5 though.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what he does. Oh, he avoids the car that was already slow. Makes sense. He came around the corner and went, oh dear.
Foggy currently in P5 made 22 positions from the starting spot, so cracking job. And again, Foggy and Brandon, they always seem to be nose to tail. So yeah, Foggy leading the team charge again.
Yeah, speaking of gains, see it on your screen now. And yeah, Foggy, one of the biggest gainers. Josh Thompson got 24 spots as well. Sam Fitzpatrick of 18 spots. And which Cooper is that? Luke Cooper. 20 places from where he started.
Side by side, just ahead of this battle as well.
It's Faber and Gafenku again, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, and Foggy going to make the move behind in the background as well. So Gafenku just about holds a tight enough line.
Oh, he's off!
Faber runs out of road, and Gafenku's got that spot. So yeah, just behind Foggy got warming and going down the front straight into turn 1 as well.
I want to see if Faber can get this run.
Battle. Yeah, he looks a lot closer this time round, so he's going to have a better shout of getting in position ready for turn 5. So Gafenku defends early. Faber switches to the outside. Tries to squeeze him a little bit halfway down straight there, but ends up at the racing line. Gafenku holding in there. Are they going to lock a wheel? Doesn't quite. Gafenku keeps it tight. Great job from both from there. Perfect space. Gafenku's just about going to keep his nose in for this next corner as well. And again, Faber, sportsman-like, gives him space. Big twitch, but gets away with it. So, you know, good there. Again, last time round we saw Gafenku maybe, not having the most sportsmanship defence. Faber there really gave him the space through the corners and was much more gentlemanly, you might say, in their battling. So Gafenku gonna try and repay the favour again next time, hopefully.
It looks like these cars are very fun in terms of how you can position them. Looks like they've got a lot of mechanical grip.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you have to really rely on the aero a lot through the medium high-speed stuff as we watch Gafenku.
Oh, is he going? Oh, Bosch!
Oh, touch. Yeah, let's hope that damage doesn't cause Faber any top speed issues. He's going to really miss it on this circuit. Gafenku just about getting the car stopped.
Oh,
loses it though. Good save. Easy in these cars. Once it starts to step out one way, yeah, it's so easy for it to snap. He's struggling a little bit through that corner as well. Had to get out of it at mid-corner. But,
tell you what, that's not what you want at well over 150 miles an hour, is it? To be in the back of another car.
No, just run out of space. But yeah, for now, Faber's got a little bit of breathing space. But yeah, let's see if that damage costs him any lap time at all. Christian Rose still way down the road in P1.
Yeah, let's go on board with him for a little bit because it's not been really fair to him, has it? We've not really seen him at all since the first couple of corners. And,
no, he did a great job getting that leap at the start off the line, and since then he's looks very comfortable as we see him heading into turn 5, right up against this outside curb as he comes in. Quite late, kind of getting to the far right edge, but then does touch it. Uses all of that outside curb on exit as well. Tricky entry into this corner as the track only appears to you really just at the very end as you go over the crest. Flat through this right-hander here. Well, he does have a bit of a lift in this car, maybe just take it, playing it safe. I would have expected that to have been flat through there. Hard on the brakes. Again, this is where we see many people spinning mid-corner through there, but no such trouble for Rose. Again, you're going to be hard on the power until about halfway around the carousel as you lift and wait for the car to pull back in. Now hard back on the power again and just let the car track out onto the outside. Definitely going to be flat through the kink now as he comes onto the back straights. Again, you hear the tyres just protesting slightly as he's going through the corner there, but all under control. Back into Canada corner then. Around the 3 marker is going to be the braking point. Scramble all over the inside curve, I expect. Same on the outside as well. Nicely done. And then again, tricky left-hander here if you get your line just wrong on the inside. And again, bang on as we came through final corner. Again, easy to overcook it on entry. Uses a little bit of curb on outside, a bit more space if you wanted it. And back onto front straights, yeah. So unsurprisingly, looking very clean from Christian Rose there on that on-board lap.
So we had a problem for Paul Denton. We'll see what happens to him. I would have seen it if. Oh, we just saw the very end of it. That's a big one. Let's go back 5 seconds. Yeah, lost it in the middle of the kink.
As well. It was surprising because he didn't run out of road. You know, he didn't even touch the outside curb. So quite why he tried to keep it as tight as he did on entry. Maybe the car had already started to get away from him before that camera shot, and maybe that was just the end of.
Too much inside curb, I think.
Yeah, maybe. But again, from when we saw it, that was quite late in the exit of the corner. So yeah, maybe he was already had a correction the other direction as well. Yeah, maybe.
Look at this. Brandon versus Gafenku. Should be a good one.
Yeah, and so Foggy's leaped ahead of Faber and Gafenku since we've been away. So yeah, Foggy's got those 2 positions now. Brandon's trying to follow him through, and as you say, yeah, Gafenku is the next car up.
One thing that's brilliant in these cars is the sound.
Wide from Brandon.
Are they motorbike engines in these? Are they, mate?
V8s. They are 2.6 litre V8s engines in these. So
sound brilliant.
No, I think that all the ones below it are motorbike engines, but no, this one is.
Oh, this particular one isn't. Right. Okay. Yeah. It's like the KTM's and stuff run them, but bike engines, don't they? The crossbows.
Yeah, that's it. And
slightly smaller ones.
SR3, the ones below this, SR3, SR4s. Yeah, they run high-end superbike engines and stuff. Yeah.
listen to it here as Chris Cash makes a move on Lane O'Connor into Canada corner. It's a nice easy move there, and yeah, no dramas for Cash, race 1 winner.
Yeah, coming through the field, made 13 positions from his starting slot. O'Connor looking
Farber!
like he,
Sorry, Lee, what's happened to Farber? Is it into the final corner?
Yeah, inside curb. Yeah, car got unsettled somehow on the inside there as he scrambled over the curb, and that was it. Done well to keep out the wall, but yeah, a lot of spots lost there.
Yep. Still basically running where he started, so not too bad for him.
Let's point out what a stonking, Andrew, what a stonking lap time Nicole Foggy's doing. So last time round, 1:59.52 for Foggy, and I scroll down and look behind, 2:01, 2:01, 2:01, 2:01, 2:01, 2:01, and he's doing all mid 1:59s.
I mean, if he keeps this up, he could win the race.
Yeah, not slight exaggeration, but sure, you know.
3.8 seconds, Lee.
Hang on. Christian Rose must have had an issue. He was 6-7 seconds down the road when I looked a moment ago. So what has happened to Christian Rose?
Foggy was 1.2 seconds quicker than him on the last lap, though. Pure pace, it looked like.
Yeah, wow, crazy. So as you say, time's running out, 2.5 minutes, but he is catching hand over fist.
You can see the gaps there as well. It was 8.4 seconds at one bit, 4.5. It's down to 3.5. Haven't finished this lap yet, so well, you know, it's not impossible. Not impossible. Brandon and Gafenku again. Oh, Gafenku up the inside into Canada corner. I love that, he says.
Yeah, Brandon just a touch wide as well, but got away with it. Just kicking up dust on the outside of the curb. But yeah, Brandon looking strong still, and still looking like he's got a good opportunity to make that move on Gafenku.
Yeah, running slightly wide was Brandon as well. Gap is down to 3.2 seconds.
Yeah, so 1.2 second difference in lap time like the last time round. So not quite going to be enough, I don't think, but Rose needs to keep his concentration.
To put it into perspective though, Lee, only 2 drivers, well, and Jack McIntyre actually in 27th place, only 2 of the drivers, Josh Thompson and Christian Rose, are even in the 2 minutes, let alone the 1:59s. Astonishing performance from Foggy at the moment, started in 27th position.
I mean, after missing out on a possible race win in race 1, you wonder if it's just pure anger that is gaining that extra lap time at the minute. He can see Christian Rose getting bigger and bigger and bigger ahead of him, and he is just risking perhaps absolutely everything to get this lap time.
Got a chance, hasn't he? But I feel like this is going to be the last lap. If he gets another lap, he's got half a chance, but I don't think he will. I think we're going to run out of time. Only 35 seconds or so before the end of the race.
Brandon making a move on Gafenku.
Again. Oh, wait a minute. Gafenku's round. What happened?
Oh, it's going to be
I think he was losing it anyway.
Yeah, he had already started losing it. So it looked like Brandon was going to nudge him out the way, but no, Gafenku was already having his own slight accident, unfortunately.
Well, it's been a terrific performance from Christian Rose, and it all came at the start. Really hooked it up perfectly, whereas Paul Denton, he got away well, but then second phase was appalling. Rose is going to come through, and I do believe the checkered flag will be out for Christian Rose. What a good performance.
Yeah, cracking job. So he's been really consistent from the looks of it. Last time round, he was only half a second off his best lap of the entire race, and yeah, it comes to the pit wall. Congratulations to Christian Rose. Lights the flag, victory. Nicole Foggy, amazing recovery there to get that second place. Johnny Brandon does pick up the third place for XVR as well.
Look at this stuff here going on. Plumley, and that's Farber, isn't it? Who's dropped down to 14th after his spin, trying to get one over on Rob Plumley. Not sure if he'll be able to do that. It's going to be reasonably close at the line, but it's going to be Plumley in 13th and Farber in 14th. Another good battle between Giddings and Trevor Blackburn. Trevor Blackburn for Team Mad, I've raced against him a lot in the old club series. From 34th on the grid, actually, Blackburn. Good job to get up to 21st. Carl Jacquelet coming across as well. So 23rd for Jacquelet, 21st for Blackburn. Anthony Jacobson getting across in 25th. Jack McIntyre, who was going quite quickly actually in the 2 minutes, but something went wrong for him at the beginning. He started in 37th, never really came through. I wonder if he had like a pit lane start or something similar. And we just got a couple of drivers still going. Ronald Moons, looks like he's got rear wing damage. Yeah, he has. And and rear suspension damage, I think, Lee. That looks like a right handful.
Yeah, I think it's a trip to the bin next to that car.
Yeah, not the pits, the bin. And then Laura Bond in 28th place. Laura started in 30th. I think got slowed up a lot by the couple of those incidents on the first lap, it looked like, but nevertheless coming home in 30th place. And now we can see the full results.
Yeah, so Christian Rose, yeah, cracking job there, as we said, to take that, what was for him a pretty uneventful 9/10 of the race almost, until he could see Nicole Foggy, I'm sure, closing in his relative screen. Yeah, Nicole Foggy then in second, Johnny Brandon in third, Richard Warmingham in fourth, Chris Cash in fifth, Josh Thompson in sixth with Richard Gafenku in seventh, Sven Glatzel in 8th with Kip Stevens in 9th, Craig Williams 10th, Jamie Myers in 11th, Sam Fitzpatrick 12th, Robert Plumley in 13th, Dominic Farber 14th, Stefan Leslie in 15th, Lane O'Connor in 16th, Jamie Ayres in 17th, and Alain McCain in 18th. 19th was Luke Cooper, 20th Jordan Giddings, 21st was Trevor Blackburn, 22nd was Dan Webster, 23rd was Carl Jacquelet, 24th was David Ayres, 25th, Anthony Jacobson, Jack McIntyre in 26th, Ronald Moons in 27th, Matt Willett in 28th, Laura Bond 29th, and then all other runners were 2 laps or more down. Hardy, Jones, Denton, Crabb, Ashton, Blake, and Kumo. And then McAnally, Hefford, Inch, McRitchie, and Halliburton, all finishing 9-10 laps down.
Yeah, and Ken Halliburton again just getting caught up in other people's crashes, it looks like, but we'll see. Well, he won't get a reprieve off of the reverse grid wheel, of course, but we'll go to that now and we'll see who's going to be on the pole position. Let's see what the spinny wheel gods have for us this time. It's going to be 17th. Is it going to be 10th? It is going to be P10. And that will go to Craig Williams, so he'll be on pole. Alongside him will be Kip Stevens. We've not really talked about him much. Sven Glatzel in 3rd, Richard Gafenku 4th, and Josh Thompson in 5th. So looks like we're going to see these front runners battling it out once again after the break on the BSR Radical Thursdays. I think I'm muted.
finish here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerick at the line. chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Welcome back to Road America, BSR Radical Thursdays. Andrew Woodhouse and former iRacing World Championship driver Lee Thompson with me here. And Lee, it's been great so far. We've really enjoyed the racing, and with Craig Williams and Kip Stevens on the front row, it could get quite spicy.
Yeah, it's been an awesome couple of first races. Probably strongest night of races that we've had this season so far, in terms of we've not really had huge accidents, and it's allowed more cars to keep battling throughout the race and give us a good show. It's been good fun.
Indeed. So there's the order on the left of your screen. Just about ready for the start. Any second now, the revs will rise. We'll be underway here at Elkhart Lake. Here we go. Red lights are on. Oh, slight creep by Gafenku. Might get a jump start there. Brilliant start by Josh Thompson. He's away. Good one by Williams. Just Williams. Then Glatzel ahead of Stevens. Thompson's going to have a look into turn one. Surely he's not going to go for it. And he doesn't. What's happening in the midfield then? Oh, there's cars crashing at the back of the field. It's Blake. And it was Jacobson. Oh, and there's a couple off as well there. It looks like Luke Cooper, maybe Lane O'Connor. Adam McNally's bit the dust as well. Here we go then. The two drivers of Craig's setup shop, Williams and Thompson, attacking Glatzel.
Yeah, and just Thompson managed to make that position, or slot in rather, behind at the end of turn 5. So yeah, looking very, very tight in front, as Williams is still got Josh Thompson is still all over the back of Sven Gatzel as they head through turn 5 there. So yeah, all looking clean. That top 10 is looking very busy already. As yeah, again, Josh Thompson has a little bit of a sniff.
A little bit of a look into the carousel for Thompson, and Glatzel is pursued by he, then Williams, then Cash, then Brandon, Stevens, and Foggy. Foggy could well be the favourite for this race if he keeps it clean leaving. He was so fast in race 2. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we saw that's an awesome race from Foggy.
Oh, there he
In
goes.
that race, we know just how consistent he can be as well at the same time.
Yeah, he's flying out there, is Foggy. So over the line to complete lap 1.
And Josh Thompson getting a run as they head down towards turn 1. So yeah, Thompson just having a bit of a wiggle mid-corner as well, and that's allowing Glatzel to have a sniff back at him. Glatzel looking to move to the inside, but no, has to tuck in the end. So yeah, Thompson, Glatzel, Williams, Cash, Brandon, Foggy, Stevens, Warming and Fitzpatrick, and then Faber is our top 10. And there's just a long lines of radicals all the way down that straight. Leaders again side by side as they head towards turn 5. Glatzel looking to get his nose ahead as they head into the corner.
I seem to have lost the live timing for the minute, so apologies for that. Try and get that back as soon as possible.
Yeah, struggling with the timing as well. Just going to run off the cameras, unfortunately. But yeah, Glatzel.
Oh, spinner! Faber. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So busy all the way through the field. There's all these radicals streaking through.
Oh, and
Craig Williams
Glatzel
having a little bit of a look on Josh Thompson.
So Glatzel, Lee, he went wide the previous corner and ended up going up the inside into the kink. Was Williams. It's very good indeed.
And we can see the XVR pairing as normal there, of Brandon and Foggy working their way up towards the sharp end very quickly. Say as this time it's Brandon leading the charge. Normally we see it the other way around as they come back onto the front straight. Josh Thompson is just making a little bit of a breakaway at the front, so he's going to want to hope these guys behind keep squabbling so he can really try and break that toe. But Glatzel looking to make a move as they head back into turn 1 again, and he does cleanly through into turn 1.
There we go, mate. I've got that back now. The timing back, which is a relief. So Thompson leads in this battle. Glatzel and Williams and Brandon and Foggy and Cash, Warmingham and Sam Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, looking very busy, all 2 by 2 as they head into turn 5. Contact at the front as well, but just about has a big wiggle, manages to keep it straight, just loses the momentum is all it was.
Just quickly, since the start of this,
side by side.
Sorry, since the start of this race though, the sun's come out. So will that change much for the drivers out here?
Yeah, it could do. I mean, these cars probably not going to be hugely sensitive to it just in this short race. So I think these guys probably are going to be affected more by the other cars around them and the slipstream that are following. So yeah, probably not going to be a big deal for these guys. There's Fitzpatrick side by side all the way around the carousel there. Cash, and in fact gets the drive off the corner. Cash has to give up the place.
Good work by Sam. Brandon running slightly wide at the kink, lives to fight another day. Is that Mayers and Stevens maybe side by side? Yeah, I think it was Mayers up to 9th place. Myers, not sure. Get in touch with us, let us know.
I've been bouncing between the two, so yeah, confirmation would be good. So yeah, Thompson is managing just to make this little breakaway at the front. He's almost got his second gap now, and Craig Williams is trying to just keep with him as well. So again, just the front two, maybe getting away slightly. Glatzel defending now from Foggy as he's looking to get onto the podium spots.
Well, always good to see a Thompson at the front of the field, I guess, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Always, where it should be.
Josh just struggles to get there sometimes. As he's usually getting through the field, that's his issue, but he's done it well this time. He got a fantastic start. He was already up into third, I think, before turn 1, and did all the hard work after that.
And someone else doing a good job trying to get through field is our lucky Kane Halliburton that we've been seeing from the previous rounds. He's gained 20 spots from his start, currently in 21st.
Oh, he's going through on someone already.
Indeed going to make that move 3 wide as they head towards turn 5. Oh, a little bit of squeezing. Just about gets away with it. Who's going to be the latest and bravest on the brakes? Halliburton's just
it's that car that's not going to make the corner, and he's going to collect. Oh no, he doesn't.
Gets away with it. Doesn't quite get tangled up. I think Halliburton saw that coming, I think, and just managed to back out of it early enough on the approach to the corner, and yeah, position made. And now he's got a little bit of a gap, 3.5 seconds to the car in front.
Well, there he went. Yeah, Halliburton's got some of the best pace on in the field, so see if he manages to keep it. Oh, look at this! I tell you what, if we go on board with one of these guys, I don't know, not him. Richard Warmingham. Look at this gaggle in front.
Yeah, see the XVR cars, 2 green cars just further up side by side as well. They just about get through the corner cleanly as Foggy's still trying to get the move done on Glatzel.
If you're Richard Warmingham, would you want to be in this position, or do you think
I'd want to be a second further back? I think we're going to see a tangle here. I think in the final corner. No, just how do they all end up single file there? As the cars at the front of this pack are all cutting and chopping each other off. But somehow they did. Glatzel really struggling, top speed, I think, rear end damage on that car.
This Radical seems to move around quite a lot as well on the bumps, and
they're so close.
Contact, there we go! It's all kicked off, it's Fitzpatrick, and it's Glatzel.
Yeah, it looked like that was Chris Catch that touched the back of Glatzel, and that's what sent the ball off.
Let's have a look, see if we can confirm that. Oh yeah. Fitzpatrick was
for Fitzpatrick
because he kind of went through the wrecked Glatzel, didn't he?
Yeah, very unfortunate to get tangled in that. It was just looking like that group of 5-6 cars. So I was watching through the final corner and just couldn't see it lasting very long.
The damage was too much for Fitzpatrick. He's back in the pits, as indeed it is for Glatzel. I thought Fitzpatrick might have got away with it because he had the initial hit and then he seemed to go through the oh my word, Thompson off, and he's pushing really hard, but I wonder if he's cooking the tyres somewhat because Williams is really gaining on him.
Yeah, he's pushing hard because he can see Williams coming. He did have a second gap last lap. Now it's down to 6/10, so he knows the pressure is well and truly on. But as you say, Williams is well and truly in that slipstream now and is going to continue to close.
It's a great camera angle, very fast car, the Radical. And look how he's gaining. He's not even really in the slipstream of Thompson.
Yeah, just showing himself in his mirrors, I think, on the approach to Canada corner there, just to try and unsettle Thompson, make sure he knows he's coming. He's going to be in a great position if he can get a good run through his final corner down the front straight.
You can see that Williams is...
missed the apex though.
Oh, he did. I was going to say, you can see that he's taking slightly more sensible lines, slightly more conservative lines, really, than Thompson.
And as these guys start to battle in the next lap or so, very, very quickly we're going to see Foggy getting onto the back of him as well. So he's just a second behind again. His teammate Johnny Brandon still trying to get past Chris Cash though, so he's not quite following the toe of his team leader.
Yeah, not quite. It's pretty close though.
Yeah, Brandon's going to have a good run as they head to turn 5 again on Chris Cash. How early is Cash going to defend? Isn't going to at all. I'll leave it till after the corner maybe. And Brandon just needs to be clean on the brakes, and this should be fairly comfortable. But Cash,
bit of contact.
Good position from Cash. He definitely left the space where Brandon couldn't quite hold a tight enough line Brandon's still got his nose in though, bumping all over that inside curb.
Wow, look how close that is.
Has now got, yeah, Cash should be safe now through this corner. Brandon's going to struggle. Doesn't. Still side by side. Very surprised. I thought Brandon was going to have to give up a spot. And now finally Cash tucks back in. Yeah, what, 4 or 5 corners that side by side.
Although he's still,
they're trying again.
He's still trying to go around. I'm not sure if this is possible. Oh, he's going to go for it. If he gets it round the outside here.
He has to back off. He has to give up on it. So yeah, harder battling for those guys, but in the end, Brandon got that move done. Is Cash going to be able to come back at him? He's right under his gearbox already.
See, into Canada corner. Then this is one of the main overtaking points on the track, of course.
Yeah,
Chris Cash.
Cash got inside line, so clean again on the brakes. Brandon a little lock up briefly, but Chris Cash was stepping out on the exit curb and lost all that momentum. We see Brandon get underneath his gearbox, and Cash losing out.
Wide
he's going to lose 2 spots if he's not careful.
Yeah, going wide through Bill Mitchell bent.
Yeah, it was just a little bit messy at the end there. Brandon running onto the grass next to it as well. Just see how hard these guys are all pushing, and now we've got a train of what, 7 cars, all nose to tail as they thunder down the pit straight again.
Look at this here, Foggy and Williams.
Yeah, Foggy's got that spot. Williams not giving up too easily though. He's trying to cut back in straight away to get the run as they head towards turn 5 on the next run. But yeah, Foggy got himself into that mix very, very quickly, and I think Foggy is going to have a move on Thompson into this corner.
Thompson's not going to make this easy though, as we know.
So yeah, great view here from the car behind Craig Williams. Nicole Foggy later on the brakes. Thompson though just needs to stay tight. Oh, he doesn't. He runs very, very wide. Foggy saw that coming, managed to bump over the outside curbs. Williams now coming back on Foggy, but Foggy
he loses
safe.
it.
Yeah,
loses it in the middle of the corner. Lee just lost the back end, stepped out for Williams.
So it's yeah, good little action there. But yeah, Thompson was lucky to get away with that. Really, just couldn't quite hold enough tight enough line into turn 5.
One thing's for sure, great racing today. Fantastic racing. Jamie Mayers and Christian Rose going for it. Christian Rose, winner of race 2, of course, and was reversed into 10th and has stayed exactly there. I'll tell you who's going well in this one. We didn't see him earlier on much because of the problems that he may have had in qualifying or penalties or whatever. Jack McIntyre in P8, started in 26th place. He hasn't been benefiting from any of the reverse grids, but he's now closing in on Kip Stevens. He's side by side with the veteran and he's up the inside.
Yeah, look at a very clean move there. Kip Stevens played ball as well to not make it too difficult, but yeah, tucked out nicely and judged it well on the brakes. No issues, no locking up at all. Yeah, you're saying a minute ago about it being a good clean race. Certainly has. We've seen some cracking racing. And what we have seen is a fair amount of unforced errors. Just people running wide, just locking wheels. It's just shows how much of a challenging track and car combination this is. But overall, great racecraft we've been seeing from these guys. Frankly, damn sight better than we've been seeing in the previous week. So good to see from these guys. Yeah,
I think by the sounds of it, I picked the right week to miss last week. But well, less said about that, the better. John Giddings versus Kane Halliburton then for 15th place. Halliburton, of course, quite some interest to us given the fact of his pace pretty much every round this season. Foggy and Thompson are exchanging places actually.
Yeah.
As soon as I say that.
And we see Foggy's got a bit of damage on the rear end as well, but yeah, completes that move in turn 5. And Thompson though going to try and hang with him, I think, and try and capitalise back as soon as he can. But yeah, Foggy fastest lap 2 seconds quicker than Thompson, so it's gonna be tough for Thompson.
How do you even be two seconds quicker than Josh Thompson at anything? Honestly, like, race against Josh Thompson, he's very, very quick. I do not know what Nick or Foggy's had for breakfast today, or had for his tea, or whatever, but absolutely flying. Just I mean, he's nearly gone already.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I was about to say. Just in those 3 or 4 corners, he's gapping them already. So the toes drawing Josh Thompson back in, but we could just see the pace difference through the corners for Foggy there. So it's going to be tough. Craig Williams just dropping back a little bit as well. Actually, I thought he was going to continue to give Thompson a bit of a challenge.
Tell you what, Lee, take us through a lap with Foggy and see exactly what he's doing, and tell us what Tell us how he's tackling this course.
Yeah, so running out over the outside curve, very, very wide exit. You can always take on that final corner there, using the extra bit of curve on the outside, over the crest, and here's the start-finish line right there. We see the cones coming up for turn 1 on the left. He's actually having to defend, so Thompson obviously has gained in the slipstream, so we're taking the middle of the circuit. I can hear Thompson on the left of us, but yeah, hits the apex nicely for Foggy, keeps that position. But yeah, Thompson, surprised how much he gained in the toe.
In fact, yeah, we might have to come back to that after they've tackled the straight.
And Craig Williams dropping back very quickly. Actually, Chris Cash now is going to be making a move on him shortly.
I wonder if he picked up a bit of damage, Williams.
Yeah, maybe. So Foggy, I bet, going to be hard and deep on the brakes. He is. Out brakes Thompson just slightly. Can he hold a tight enough line? He can. Thompson runs a little bit wide anyway, but clean from the two of them. Dan Webster just lost a spot. Robert Plumley. Oh, Plumley and Webster battling.
Some traffic ahead for Foggy. But yeah, is he doing anything that unusual or anything that stands out really to you at the minute?
I'd be very, very surprised if there's some different line or little trick of a car or anything like that that Foggy has found. It's just marginal gains. Every single little braking point, every single little turn in apex and traction point, he's just got absolutely nailed. So perhaps also something where perhaps it's a particular circuit he knows he goes well on, perhaps it's a particular feel of a setup that he's extra comfortable with compared to the others, but it's just going to be half a tenth on every single corner, and it's all going to add up very, very quickly.
So much speed carried through Canada Corner.
Yeah, mid corner speeds in this car can be very, very high, and it's just all about keeping that momentum. And it's a powerful car, but it's really about keeping that minimum speed up and relying on that aero as much as you can.
Well, that was a good lap to watch. We did have quite a battle at the beginning of it, but
yeah, he's really broken away from Thompson on that lap. So Thompson's nothing like as close now as he was previously, as we saw Foggy having to defend last time by.
We've got to give this man a bit of credit, Lee, as well. 17 places from where he started. Looks like he's going to pick up a tiny bit of damage.
Yeah, Sam Kumo's had some tough rounds so far this season, getting caught up in instants. So looking like he's got a little bit of a lonely race going on at the minute. 7 seconds to the car ahead, 3 seconds to the car behind. But
it's
in pretty good condition.
It looks like there's been a crash, Lee, with Warmingham possibly, and maybe Webster. Oh, it would be if I could find the thing here. Oh, wow!
Obviously, we only saw the very, very end of that, but that looked way optimistic from Webster. Here we go. We're going to get another view of it now.
Oh, he locks up, but then the car in front kind of was a bit slow in the corner anyway.
Yeah, I wonder if Webster thought, car in front missed the apex, here's my opportunity. But we saw Webster make a great move in the end of the last race to nab, forget which car it was, for second position right at the very end. But at that time, just that dive bomb did not look like it went to plan.
So was that actually Warmingham that was involved in that? Yes, it was. I was wondering exactly who it was, and also caught up in that looked like it was Stevens, and he sort of just messed that little pack of drivers up with sort of Jamie Mayers, I think, and Plumley involved too. Here we go. It's going to be the final lap in the final corner for Nico Foggy. It's come round very quickly.
Yeah, and Thompson, pushing so hard. Thompson, massive opposite lock through the final corner. He had gained just to within 2 tenths and really gave it everything there on that last corner, but nothing doing. Nicole Foggy takes the win in the final race of the evening. The amazing pace this guy's had all night long gets him that race win. Josh Thompson, valiant effort to try and come back at him at the end there in second. Chris Cash gets third, so we lost Craig Williams, right? Craig Williams dropped to 6th from 3rd in that last lap.
See what we can get on Williams then. Just have a quick look, because I'm surprised that he dropped so far down. No, I can't see it, so I don't know. Let's have a look. Final lap.
Yeah, Williams had a 2-minute 8.
There we go.
That last time.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Right.
So, obviously, saw the aftermath of that. So, was that a little touch from Cash, or was it just oversteer from Williams? Just
Oh, no, Cash
bit
hitting
of a
the
touch
curb
there.
and
Yeah.
bouncing across into him, I think.
So it looked like Williams could have, unless I looked at it wrong initially, it looked like Williams could have taken the apex into that corner, and was just maybe a little bit too generous to Cash to allow him space on the inside in case he needed it, and in the end, that's what brought them together.
Yep, we haven't quite got the results on tap. We do now, as Anthony Jacobson, the last man across the line, and Lee for the final time tonight, mate. Take us through it.
Yeah, so race 3 of the evening, as you say, Nicole Foggy takes the win. 7/10 of a second over the line from Josh Thompson, but yeah, going into the final corner, it was down to under 2.5 tenths. So good pressure from Thompson there to try not to let Foggy off the hook, if you like. So yeah, second for Josh Thompson. Chris Cash then, yeah, a little bit of a tangle with Williams at the end to get the final podium spot. Jack McIntyre snuck in there at the end to get 4th place. How did Jack McIntyre get ahead of Johnny Brandon to beat him to 4th? That's a little bit strange as well. So 4th for McIntyre, 5th for Johnny Brandon, 6th for Craig Williams. Christian Rose, our race winner from the race 2, finishing in 7th. Kane Halliburton then did continue to come through to 8th position. In 9th was Matt Willett, 10th was Jamie Mayers, 11th was Robert Plumley, 12th Kip Stevens, Richard Warmingham in 13th with Jordan Giddings in 14th, Dan Webster in 15th with Paul Denton in 16th, Stefan Leslie in 17th with Sam Kumo finishing in that lonely 18th that we were seeing earlier on. And pause. And 19th was Craig Jones with 20th Robert Inch, 21st Richard Gafenku, so he wasn't really able to come through the field as well as in the previous races. Ronald Moons in 22nd, Laura Bond 23rd, Jamie Ayres in 24th with David Ayres in 25th, and Anthony Jacobson in 26th. All other runners were 2 laps or more down. Trevor Blackburn, Dominic Farber, Sven Glatzel, Paul Crabb, Sam Fitzpatrick, Cole Hardy, Jack Ashton, Cole Jackalette, Alan McCain, Luke Cooper in 36th with Lane O'Connor 37th, Michael Blake 38th, Adam McNally 39th, Steve Hefford 40th, and James McRitchie in 41st.
Right, great.
So yeah, good 3 races of the evening, Woody.
Yeah, terrific races, mate. I really enjoyed those, and doesn't appear that we actually have anybody wanting to come and talk to us today. So I think that is just going to about do it for this BSR Radical Thursday. So from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, it's good night from me, it's good night from Lee, and we'll see you guys at the next one.